All right, hi guys. There we go. We are going to work on 6.8, or no, 6.9. Actually, first you should do the 6.8 warm-up. I don't know if, I'll make sure it's posted so you can do it whenever. So 6.8 warm-up, first off. And then we'll do this lesson. And it's not really learning anything new. We've actually done it all, but it's just going to be more practice in solving logarithmic equations. And then we'll solve some of the logarithmic inequalities pretty much the same way. A couple of the problems might get a little tricky towards the end, but we can go over them in class when I see you guys again. So let's start with this. Well, logarithmic equation and logarithmic inequality are just equations and inequalities with logs. So not too exciting. So when we solve this, I look at it and my log term is already all by itself as far as it can be. So all I'm going to do is say, I guess I'll change it to exponential form. So to change to exponential form, I'll go 8 to the power of 4 over 3 equals x. And you can put that right in your calculator. If you don't have one of the calculators at home, you can actually, I'm sure, find one online. That works fine. I'm going to use my daughter's because I don't have a good calculator at home. So I'm just going to go 8 to the power of 4 divided by 3, and I get 16. So x equals 16. I'll make sure that's right. Yep. All right, so this one, you can go ahead and do it, but I just write it as 27 to the power of 2 over 3 and put it right in my calculator. This is a property that we've actually dealt with before, at least with our exponentials. So remember, if you have the same base and they're equal, then you can just drop those bases. And in this case, if you have logs with the same base, you can just drop those logs and set the x equal to the y or whatever. Here's an example. Log base 5 of x equals log base 5 of 8. Well, if log 5 is something equals log 5 is something, then those somethings are equal. So then we just know that x equals 8. So let's apply that. Actually, I do want to go through this one. They have it set up as a multiple choice for some reason, but I do want to go through it because we're going to be dealing with quadratics. So log base 4 of x squared equals log base 4 of this jazz. So I'm just going to kind of drop those and write it as x squared equals negative 6x minus 8. Now, it's a quadratic, so we can't just isolate x right away. What we're going to have to do is set it equal to 0. So I'm going to add my 6x and my 8 to the other side. And same over there. So then I end up with x squared plus 6x. Whoops, that's not an x. I don't even know how to erase on here. Okay. So I have x squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. I mean, you can always use the quadratic formula if you wish, but this should factor nicely. So two numbers that multiply to 8 but add to 6 are going to be 4 and 2. Both positive. And when you set each of those equal to 0, x plus 4 equals 0, and you solve for it, you get x equals negative 4. And x plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2 from both sides, and you get x equals negative 2. What you do want to do, especially when you come up with two solutions, is you want to check, because they could be extraneous. But if I put -4 in here, I'll get a positive out. And if I put -2 in here, I'll get a positive out. So they both will actually work. And so I guess it's this one. Okay, here's another one. It's multiple choice. So if you want to try it, go ahead. You can pause the video. I will do it for you. It's got log 4 and log 4, so I will drop those and just set x squared equal to x plus 20. Again, I'll just subtract the x and subtract the 20 so I can get 0 on one side since it's a quadratic. X squared minus x minus 20 equals 0. I will factor this one. And two numbers that multiply to a -20 but add to a -1 are going to be x minus 5 and x plus 4. When I set each of those equal to 0, I get that x equals 5 and x equals -4. But I need to check them. Well, definitely check that -1, but -4 plus 20 is a positive number, and of course squared is positive, so it should be both of those. The same property applies when you have inequalities. It is kind of a little bit different because you sometimes have where x is in between 0 and some solution, or that x is just greater than some solution. I try not to give you too many tricky ones in your assignment, and if you, like I said, if you can't get through those, we'll go over them. There will be no logarithmic inequalities on the upcoming test, so don't freak out if you can't get the exact answers. I don't spend a whole lot of emphasis on this, but I'll show you the basics. So how am I going to solve this? Well, I guess I'll put it into exponential form. So I'll write 6 to the power of 3 equals, well, I won't write equals. Since it's greater than right now, but I'm switching x to this side, I'm actually going to have to change the sign. And there you go. 6 to the power of 3 is 216, so x is greater than 216. And the best thing to do with these inequalities is just to plug it back in and make sure it works. So if I put in any number greater than 216 in here and find the log 6 of 220 or something, it should be greater than 3 if I did it right. Yep. Okay, so this would be the same, done the same way. You go 3 to the power of 2 is now greater than x, so x is less than 9. Oh, no, x is between 0 and 9. See, I messed that up even. I forgot the rule already. But it makes sense because you obviously can't have a negative in here for your log. Alrighty, this is very, very similar for the properties. This we will set up the same way. We can drop those logs and just put 2x plus 8 equal to or greater than x plus 5. And we will, I guess I'll rewrite it. 2x plus 8 is greater than x plus 5. I'll subtract an x. I'll subtract an 8. And I get x is greater than -3. And then you'll want to make sure it works. If I put a -3 in here, I get a positive out. If I put a -3 in here, I get a positive out. So that should be your answer. All right, I'll let you do this one. Notice it's got the less than sign. Hopefully you came up with that. And that's all I have for you. I should write, it won't let me write on here. Oops, oops, oops. Okay. Well, I was going to write your assignment on here, but apparently I have to like put it back. Okay. So your assignment is page 439. You have numbers 8 through 20 evens, 25, 26, 28, and 35. All right. Well, good luck, and I will see you when we have school again.